From bars crawling with cockroaches,
Look at it. There's one of them. Look at that, guys. That's a roach.
to kitchens overrun by rats, here are the most disgusting episodes of bar rescue, starting with Fairways Golf and Grill. When John Taffer walked into Fairways Golf and Grill in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, during Season 3, he thought he was rescuing a struggling sports bar with a golf theme. What he found instead was a health inspector's nightmare wrapped in grease and denial. The bar had been losing money every month, and the owner, Richard, was deep in debt.
Now, Richard is unable to chip away at his $150,000 debt.
But the financial bleeding wasn't the worst part. The real horror was happening in the kitchen, where basic food safety had become a distant memory.
Keeps customers at bay.
Man, look at this place, man. If you call so-called a kitchen manager, why do everything look like this in here? Like,
John's experts examined the kitchen equipment and found grease so thick it had become part of the infrastructure itself. The grease trap, designed to catch oil and fat before they enter the plumbing, hadn't been cleaned in what appeared to be years.
This is our grease filtration system. So why is it that you just don't clean?
We do.
When?
It's a nightly thing.
You're full of
The buildup was so severe that it created a fire hazard, with grease coating surfaces throughout the kitchen. But the grease was just the beginning. When John's team pulled apart the kitchen, they found black mold on the wall, the kind that causes serious respiratory damage. It got even worse, with spores growing on the walls, and shocked everyone present inside the kitchen.
Look at this!
Oh my God.
Get the out of here! Get the out of here! This is unbelievable!
Dude.
How the chef handled food told an even more disturbing story when she touched raw meat and cooked food without washing her hands in between, creating perfect conditions for cross-contamination.
Clearly has raw product, raw pork, mind you. What raw food is he touching now? There's no sanitation. There's no hand washing, there's no gloves being used, there's no separation from raw to cooked product.
The conditions were so bad that the person who was inspecting threw up. When the staff was confronted with the cleanliness issues, they immediately started making excuses for themselves.
He's been a great cook.
He cooked bad chicken.
Yes.
That's raw chicken.
It's not in the danger zone yet.
Throw it out!
I have faith he's never served bad chicken. I haven't had a complaint on it.
So John Taffer shut down the kitchen immediately and made the cleaning crew handle the biohazard level mess.
This morning I asked the staff to clean. Now I'm gonna make sure they did.
Beyond the physical cleaning, John had to explain basic business protocols to the staff and how their finances could be improved.
Do you think there was any success in this building at all?
I don't think we had any success at all.
How much food did we throw in the garbage tonight, Richard?
Hundreds of dollars.
Is there any chance that you're going to save your house with that food that came out tonight?
No.
You're losing $7,000 a month going to another job to support the bills in this business.
The bar was rebranded as Brew U, with a refreshed concept and completely sanitized kitchen. The relaunch drew customers back into a kitchen that was finally clean enough to cook in. Early reports suggested the rescue had worked as sales increased and the kitchen was maintaining new standards.
Still loving it.
yeah.
The kitchen is doing great. We're running 6-7 minute ticket times.
Guys all doing okay?
But within months, reviews started mentioning problems. Customers complained about slow service and horrible food. The cleanliness standards John had fought so hard to establish were slipping, and in 2014, Brew U closed its doors permanently. While Fairways struggled with grease and fruit flies, the next bar faced an infestation that would make even the toughest exterminators cringe. Headhunters in Austin, Texas, had built a reputation as a dive bar with character, a place where rock music, cheap drinks, and a rebellious attitude created a loyal following. But when John Taffer arrived during Season 3 for the Rock and Roaches episode, he discovered that the character extended far beyond the decor and into the walls, where thousands of unwanted tenants had taken up residence. Owned by Steve Ritchie, Headhunters had started as a popular bar, but was now struggling to attract customers despite being located in a high-traffic area near the University of Texas.
I've invested my life savings in this, $250,000 plus 10 years of sweat equity. If things continue this way, we're gonna be done.
But it had an even bigger problem: roaches. Behind the bar, in the kitchen, and even in customer areas, cockroaches were everywhere, with the infestation so severe that a cockroach got in one of the drinks that was about to be served to a customer.
She turned that upside down and there's something floating around in there.
There's a cockroach in there. That's unacceptable.
She was gonna serve that to me.
When John confronted Steve about the conditions, their response showed why the problems had gotten so bad. He denied having any roaches in the bar despite those being everywhere.
The staff told me that they see cockroaches every day here. Been here for a day.
Cockroaches in bottles.
Let's go ask them.
The kitchen was even more horrifying when health expert Dr. Jennifer Abelson began her inspection, and what she found was far worse than anything she expected. What made the situation even more disturbing was the condition of the bar itself. Adding to the problems, the bar stank and smelled like cat piss because the owner, Steve, would lock up a cat inside the bar to take care of rats. There was also mold on the ceiling, which meant it could fall into customers' drink and make them sick. The owner, however, kept smiling and refused to take responsibility as customers watched the whole scene.
It's not a joke. This is the livelihood of a good 10 to 15 people.
You need to get angry at this. You need to be embarrassed about this. Take accountability.
John Taffer flew off the handle about bugs.
So John made it clear that the bar couldn't serve another customer until the roach problem was eliminated and every surface was properly sanitized.
Now, John is closing down the unsafe bar.
I'm gonna fumigate this building tonight. And I'm gonna show you that there can be no bugs in this place.
He decided to shut down the bar and call an exterminator. But the scenes from the cleaning were equally disgusting as cockroaches came out from every nook and corner. John knew that lectures wouldn't stick and Steve needed to feel the weight of the problem himself. So he insisted Steve join him in deep cleaning the entire bar, working with the staff as they scrubbed every surface. He also brought in the entire staff for training on proper serving protocols and how to handle glassware.
4 count of the vodka with the triple sec. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Splash of crayon, shake, strain. Good way to assess the skill set of a bartender. So you have a shake and drink, you have a rocks drink.
Then, to help Steve understand how disgusting it was to give customers contaminated drinks, John poured him some alcohol with a cockroach in the glass and asked Steve to drink it.
Steve? You gonna have a drink?
That kid.
So it's okay if your customers consume it, but you won't. You see the point?
Faced with the reality of what he'd been serving customers, Steve decided to improve his bar. The bar was renamed to Metal and Lace and got an operational overhaul. The relaunch was successful, with customers packing the newly sanitized space. However, maintaining those standards proved challenging. Within a few years, Headhunters closed, though there were rumors that it was due to their lease ending rather than health violations. If cockroaches weren't enough to turn your stomach, the next bar introduced rodents into the equation. Oasis Hookah Bar in Omaha, Nebraska should have been a unique concept with built-in appeal, a lounge where customers could relax, smoke hookah, and enjoy a different kind of nightlife experience.
Change soon. Oasis Hookah Bar in Omaha, Nebraska will become just another statistic.
Instead, when John Taffer arrived for Season 3's I Smell a Rat episode, he found a bar that had become a breeding ground for rodents and health violations severe enough to endanger every customer who walked through the door.
Cleanliness.
That looks pretty yellow. That should be crystal clear water.
And accountability.
The owner, Jesse, had invested heavily in the concept, but poor management and neglected maintenance had let the concept collapse into something far worse.
Under Corey's management, the bar began to resemble a frat house, and Oasis suffered a drought.
It's just terrible.
Now, $100,000 in debt.
We owe back taxes to the IRS.
The problem started becoming visible before John even entered the building. Even the hookahs weren't in a good condition.
Like, look how dirty this is. This looks like a sweatband. There's no way I would want to take a puff from one of those hoses.
What's even more disgusting was what one customer saw when she visited the restroom. It was clear that customers hated the drinks and the overall vibe of the hookah bar, with one customer even throwing up after tasting his drink. Inside, the situation deteriorated rapidly. When John stepped inside to assess the back of the house operations, what he found confirmed his worst fears, when dirt was everywhere in the bar. The bar's floor was so dirty that it made sticky sounds when John Taffer walked on it, making him furious.
What about the sticking sound when my feet walk across the floor? Have you noticed that? This place is freaking disgusting.
The drinks were stored improperly in plastic containers that could absorb the drink inside them, and the citric acid could degrade the container, making people really sick. On top of that, there was something that was causing the whole place to stink immensely. After some searching, John finds the source of the stink, leading to a confrontation between the staff and John Taffer.
And you're manager of this place? Get a rag and pick this thing up now!
Gotcha.
And it didn't end there, as John went on to see the dire condition in which the hookah equipment was stored.
Look at all this. All of this stuff is wet here from grime and grease. And this is just residue from hookah shisha tobacco.
John immediately shut down all food service and ordered the team to get things straight.
You don't deserve to be in business. Shut this place down.
Guys, please get out of here. Give them their money back now.
Which is what they did. The staff received training on food safety and maintaining the hookah equipment. The relaunch showed promise, with customers responding positively to the cleaner environment and improved service.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight? My name's Jesse Hill. I'm the proud new owner of Tyson Nightclub. What y'all doing outside? Let's go on in.
But keeping a bar pest-free requires constant vigilance, and within a couple of years, their standards went down. Online reviews from this period mentioned bad service, and the bar eventually closed. While Oasis dealt with rats in the basement, the next bar somehow managed to cultivate an even more diverse ecosystem of creatures. Casey's Neighborhood Bar and Grill in Kansas City, Missouri, appeared on Season 3's Critters and Quitters episode, and the title barely scratched the surface of what John Taffer encountered. The bar's owner, Bill Papon, treated it like his personal party spot, chugging alcohol with customers and actively encouraging his bartenders to overpour drinks on purpose. That laid-back attitude led to the bar losing $5,000 every month.
Bill's party-hardy attitude causes KC's to lose $5,000 a month.
But the financial bleeding was nothing compared to what John discovered during his visit. Then came the moment that would define this rescue. During his inspection, John heard movement above him, and when he looked up, he came face to face with a raccoon staring down at him from a hole in the ceiling. But this was just the beginning. The raccoon started dropping feces directly into the bar area as customers watched, disgusted by the scene.
Where was it?
Under that light panel.
The bar's kitchen was no better, and the deep fryer contained grease so old and filthy it had turned into a bubbling mess. Because of the disgusting grease, food wasn't even frying properly. Customer Brandy tried eating mozzarella sticks and chewed for a full minute before being forced to spit the food out because she physically could not swallow it. The hamburger patties served to customers didn't look good, and wait time stretched to 30 minutes for food that was essentially inedible.
We've been waiting like at least 30 minutes for our drinks. We don't know where they're at.
At the bar itself, the violations continued. Bartender Shano was caught smoking cigarettes while working, and then using those same unwashed hands to scoop olives directly into customers' drinks and handle money.
Oh, she's putting her hands. Oh, she's been
Same hand she was smoking with.
Oh, handling money.
Can you do it without the ice?
When customers complained about the terrible drinks, Shonda's response was to flip them off. John's intervention focused on ending the nightmare. He ordered Bill to clean the entire bar and remove the raccoon infestation that very night.
I want you to sober up. I want you to come in here tomorrow, and I want you to fight for this place. Show me that you care. And this raccoon is gone before I come back. Good night.
The bar was rebranded as Johnson County Line, complete with new buffet systems, smoke eater ventilation, and proper POS systems to control the rampant overpouring and drink giveaways. But there was also drama behind the scenes. Bill had planned to sell the bar to longtime bartender Elizabeth Jones, who he'd promoted to manager. During the rescue, an attorney revealed Liz would need to pay $300,000 for full ownership. After realizing she could open her own bar for $200,000, she walked away from the deal entirely.
At the same time, I don't want to get screwed over anymore. And I have been screwed over a lot. I am not gonna buy this bar.
Almost immediately after John left, Casey's reverted. The Johnson County Line name was dropped the very next day, and the bar went straight back to calling itself Casey's Neighborhood Bar and Grill. Most of John's changes were abandoned as the bar returned to its old membership-only smoking club format. In one of Bar Rescue's most surprising outcomes, Casey's Bar is still open today, operating as a members-only smoking bar with $10 annual memberships and maintaining a 4-star Google rating. While Casey's had to deal with raccoons, the next bar's disgusting conditions extended beyond vermin into areas that would challenge even the strongest stomachs. The Artful Dodger in Huntington, Long Island kicked off Season 4 with a bug bite episode, a title that barely hinted at the comprehensive health disaster John Taffer was about to confront. The owner, Mike, had been running the bar for years, but somewhere along the way, he'd stopped maintaining even minimal standards. By the time John arrived, the place was $150,000 in debt and would have shut down in 2 months if nothing was done about it. Adding to the problems, the Artful Dodger had descended into such profound neglect that basic food safety had become completely foreign to its operations, with a customer ordering drinks and finding flies inside it.
Here's like 3 fruit flies. Can I have another one?
That's funny. That's totally funny.
which caused John Taffer, who was silently observing at first, to go and shut down the bar because he could not have customers consuming drinks with bugs in them. The source of the fruit fly breeding ground became clear when investigators examined the bar's drain systems. Organic material had built up in the pipes over months or years, creating a perfect breeding environment. The flies were emerging directly from the drains in the food prep areas. The state of some food items was shocking even by bar rescue standards. The ice machine told a similar story of complete neglect when John Taffer took out a cloth covered with slimy material from that ice machine. That machine was never properly maintained or sanitized. John's confrontation with the owner revealed a pattern of denial and rationalization when he said he was too busy to keep a check on the bar.
This is your future, man. And you walk around like an idiot and do nothing about it.
I've been busy just trying to, keep things afloat.
John made it clear that this wasn't about having time or money. It was about basic food safety and customer health. The bar couldn't serve another customer until every violation was corrected. The remediation required days of intensive work as professional pest control eliminated the fruit fly infestation by treating all the drains and breeding sites. The staff received comprehensive training on why these procedures mattered and how to maintain them daily. The bar was rebranded with a refreshed concept and completely sanitized operations, and it was renamed to P's and Q's. The relaunch was successful, with customers packing the newly cleaned establishment. However, maintaining those standards proved challenging, and within a few years, the Artful Dodger had closed permanently. If the Artful Dodger's fruit flies seemed bad, the next bar's approach to food storage would make you question how anyone ate there in the first place. J.A. Murphy's in Fells Point, Maryland appeared normal from the outside, a neighborhood Irish pub in a historic waterfront district that should have been thriving on location alone. But when John Taffer arrived during season 2, he discovered that beneath the traditional pub facade was one of the most filthy operations the show had encountered. The bar was owned by Keith Murphy and Joel Gallant, and both did not have any experience running a bar before this and opened it on a whim. The bar had been open for years by the time John Taffer arrived, but somewhere along the way, basic sanitation and food safety had been abandoned.
Your own nachos. We got the nachos as a big sloppy pile of grease. I was terribly sick in the morning.
The problems became evident almost immediately during the initial inspection. The walk-in cooler was the first major red flag. The cook revealed it wasn't working, so she stopped refrigerating items. Some items had been there for so long that they'd completely spoiled, but rather than being removed, they were just pushed aside to make room for newer items. Cross-contamination was rampant, and the staff were handling raw chicken and cooked food without washing their hands in between and serving it to customers.
That's cross-contamination. She's touching raw chicken and then cooked food without washing her hands in the middle. It's all cross-contaminated.
The cleaning equipment revealed years of accumulated neglect. The cleaning supplies had built up into thick, crusty layers. But the truly shocking discovery came when investigators examined the bar's food and found something very appalling. The surroundings presented their own set of horrors. The conditions were so bad that one person John Taffer brought to train the staff said that he wanted to throw up.
Functioning bar with how filthy it is. I saw things that made me want to throw up.
The bar's draft beer system was equally problematic.
You see the stickiness all around there? Fruit flies can go in there, they can lay eggs, and next thing you know, somebody's drinking that.
The kitchen area, which should be pristine since they produce something customers consume directly, was coated in slime mold and bacterial growth. It contained visible debris and contamination, so each food item prepared there exposed the customers to potentially harmful bacteria. The floor drains throughout the kitchen and bar area were clogged with organic matter that had decomposed into a foul-smelling sludge. The standing water in these drains was a breeding ground for bacteria and drain flies, and there were maggots beneath the bar. When John confronted one of the staff members about the conditions, he started arguing with John and started evading responsibility.
Is this funny to you? What's the deal?
Didn't see it.
You didn't see it. She's touching raw chicken and she's not even washing her hands. Don't you know that's wrong?
That was it.
You do know it's wrong.
Yeah.
So you don't give a
Do give a
No, you don't care because you're not doing anything about it.
John made it clear that the owner sets the standard, and what was happening at J.A. Murphy's was the result of complete leadership failure and a total lack of systems. The bar was immediately shut down for a comprehensive deep clean. Cleaning crews spent days working through every area of the facility, removing years of accumulated filth and sanitizing every surface. John implemented detailed protocols for food handling, storage, and presentation. The staff received extensive training on why these procedures mattered and how to execute them consistently. The bar received a modest aesthetic refresh and operational overhaul. The relaunch showed promise, with improved cleanliness and better food quality.
Let's
However, maintaining those standards over time proved difficult. J.A. Murphy's eventually closed, unable to sustain the operational discipline required to run a clean and safe establishment.